I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl Wesley Phillips.
What it do? How y'all feeling? We back again.
And young Douglas.
Hey, CJ said he the host. I just wanted to say when he was saying it, the hostess with the mostest.
The hostess
with. Yeah, I couldn't get in while you was doing your thing. Didn't want to
well, you know, hey, I got a routine to this thing now, man. So it's it's a science, man. Don't mess me up.
Yeah,
man, welcome, fellas. It's good to hear your voice. We got Ken producing the podcast today. Shout out to Ken. One day Ken gonna get on the podcast and we're gonna be able to ask Ken. I promise you, Ken will have y'all dying. When y'all get to know Ken, Ken is probably the funniest guy on the entire squad. So once y'all, if you can get him to open up.
Different type of humor though. Different type of humor.
Oh.
Hey, or funny when you went messing with his food.
Oh, no. Do not play with Ken food. No, that is a no. Like, yo, I've never seen nothing like it. Like, yo, Ken, like, literally would take 45 minutes to order off the menu. I'm like, yo, I'm scared to take Ken to, like, a cheesecake factory with someone with an extensive menu. We were in Australia. I promise you, at that one joint, it was about 4 things on the menu. Ken fought for, like, an hour and a half. And then every time Ken sees somebody else's plate come out before his, he be like, shoot, I should have got that. I knew it. You know how, like.
No. Here's a challenge, though. 45 minutes at a restaurant he already been to. That's what I have a problem.
A million times. And I'm like, Ken, yo, I promise you gonna eat again, bruh. Like, this is not the last supper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ken, like, he on death row ordering his last meal. I'm like, bruh, you gonna eat again in 3-4 hours, bruh. I promise you, I'll bring you right back.
Ken's eating habits.
Oh, for sure, man. But no, man, listen, man, shout out to everybody who came out to Philly. Wow, what an amazing conference, for real. Like, that one had a different feel. It was just the energy in the room, you know, from early on was just crazy. Let me tell you how crazy the energy was. The energy was so crazy in the room that the people from the hotel tried to shut us down. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were so hype in the hallways, like, just the energy. Like, they came running around. Thank God Josh was there to kind of, be a salesman and do what Josh does and, you know what I mean, calm them down and let them know everything was going to be okay. But the energy was so crazy. The
but
people
it wasn't
in the hotel
okay,
was like, right.
It wasn't okay.
Let me just put it like this.
It kept escalating.
Hey, let me put it like this.
Yeah.
They scheduled a National Surgeons Convention right next door to the ETN hip hop party.
And the keynote speaker that they brought in, my man, probably worth about $1 billion, came in during the keynote, and the keynote was from like 10 to 11, and I promise you, that's like the intro to the conference where we had the music going, we had giveaways,
drum line
was
off in the
it
building.
Was insane, man. So yeah, shout out to the surgeons. I'm sure y'all'll be all right, man. Y'all be good. You're doctors, so you'll figure it out.
See, here's the challenge I had though. I thought coming up, you know how I used to get in trouble, like your parents turn the music down, your neighbors turn the music down. When I got my first apartment, turn the music down. When Jalen was coming through the neighborhood, we're gonna call the police. I thought we were past all of that. See, I thought once we the LLC
once
and
we
started
arrived.
doing conference, I thought we was finished with that. We still getting shut down with the noise complaints.
Oh yeah, no, they were. They came running up too, and it was like, yo, what do you want us to do? We paid for the hotel. We told y'all it was gonna be music there, and I guess y'all didn't know we were bringing the sound system from the Beyonce concert. But hey, you should have asked. You know what I'm saying? We went in. So man. Shout out to everybody who came out to Philly. Man, it was crazy, I think, just because it went from, like, at the beginning, it was just super hype, and at the end, it was just super reflective, man. And, folks was, just going to another level. And, man, it was crazy, man. So
shout out to CJ, though, for bringing the smoke in 2017.
Oh, yeah. We definitely
I asked for the smoke in 2015, he brought the smoke in 2017.
We coming with it. Yeah, no,
Shout
we
out
coming
to
with
the
it,
smoke.
man. It was on another level. We got, bands, we got DJs, we got music everywhere, we got energy team, we got drones flying around. So yeah, no, we definitely taking it up a notch, man. That's what it's about, is taking it up to that next level. Real quick, am I tripping, or I'm not really feeling the new little feature on the iPhone where you send somebody a text and they have the option to just like click on it and press like thumbs up, thumbs down, love, like, whatever it is. And I'll tell you why. And this is maybe a fair file too, right? We roll both of these into one. I sent my wife a very long romantic text.
I was about to debate you, but
look,
no,
let me finish. Let me finish. So you thinking, okay, based on what I just said, maybe she just clicked and hit the little love symbol. She hit the like, and I was a little hurt. I was like, yo, wait, what? I mean, I spent some time like, listen, dear, I'm just grateful, Trey and Avery's mom, my wife, that, we're where we need to be, we're grinding, I'm glad to have you at, and she had the nerve. Now I know she was at work, so I'm trying to give her a pass. But you know how like subconsciously when you send a text like that, you waiting to get the affirmation back. You know what I'm saying? Like I was expecting at least, a few lines, if not the full paragraph I sent, at least a few lines. She just liked it with the thumbs up. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure how to take this. So am I tripping, or is it a little too informal and they need to let that go?
Oh, I knew where he was going off the cuff.
Yeah, no, you tripping. First of all, if you got a response from Candace at work, I'm super proud of her, first and foremost.
That is true.
Okay?
That
first
is
and
true.
foremost.
That is true.
I'm grateful that they have that feature.
Oh,
because
you
if
ain't
they
never,
didn't have the
touche.
feature, she wouldn't have responded to you at all if she was at work.
Oh no! I think my wife.
Mode.
You know how like Mr. and Mrs. Smith or something like that. When your wife like tell you she worked for GE, but she really worked for the NSA. I think like secretly she does, because when I call her, she's like, if I by slight chance get her to answer the phone, she's like, hello, what are you doing? I'm at work. I'm like, is it like some governmental secrets going on in that joint? Like I'm confused. Like, what is going on to the point where you can't have a conversation with your husband for 30 seconds without getting in trouble? So I guess in that case, I will give you that, E. I am grateful I got something back. But maybe even later on, because she had went to the bathroom and texted me something, I don't know.
I'm just saying, if this was somebody else, but this is Candace. Historically, before they created this feature, when she go to work, bruh, you can't be mad at her. When she go to work, she not like people who they drink coffee for the first 30 minutes, they reading their newspaper, they answering emails. When Candace get to work at 8 o'clock, she locked and loaded. I don't think I've ever talked to Candace at work. I don't think we've ever had a conversation during work hours. So with that being said, I'm grateful for the new feature. Because had it not been for that feature, you probably wouldn't have gotten anything.
A response at all. It was a whole different podcast.
I want to thank the people from Apple on behalf of Candace for the feature, so she could at least acknowledge to her husband that she did read it and that she is in love. And boom, now we can talk about.
At least she could have hit the love button, E. She hit the like, bruh. She hit the thumbs up.
Hey, maybe it was the most recent one used. Maybe that was the most recent one, too.
Here you go being picky again and not being grateful for the small things.
I'm grateful for the small things, but now y'all got me thinking, because I'm like, shoot. Like, I've never even been inside my wife's job, like, ever. Since we've been married, I've never one time just been in there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you did drop her off there, though, so you know where it is. You have dropped her off.
Let me read. Can I read the text? And y'all, maybe it was because of the text. I want to read the text. This is from.
He hurt.
No. I am a little hurt. And now this is Monday. I was out of town on Monday still. And I saw, I tried to be, maybe that has something to do with it. She was like, okay, I'm not feeling that. But I said, hey, just want to let you know how much I love and appreciate you. I hope you know that this travel and everything that I'm doing is for you and the kids, and so that we can have the best life together. I never want you to stress about anything. Thanks for letting me do what needs to be done in order to put our family in the best position. It puts me at ease to know how much you love and support me, and I mean that too. Everyone thinks I'm just ultra confident and don't ever need to be affirmed, but your support not only means the world to me, it pushes me to be better. I love you from the bottom of my heart and can't wait to see you tomorrow. With the blow
Thumbs
kiss emoji.
Thumbs up.
With the blow
Hey,
kiss emoji.
Let me tell you where you went wrong.
Thumbs up.
Like, I'm
Let
like,
me
is
tell
this
you where you went
Facebook?
wrong.
I'm like, is this Facebook? How did I get a like? You know
Hey,
what I'm
here's
saying?
where you went wrong. See, where you went wrong was the line that said, I'm doing all this traveling for you while you away. You need to do that when you at home. You away and telling her, hey, I'm gone, and I'm reminding you that I'm gone, but I'm doing this for you. That's the line that I think you messed up
But
on.
I'm just, Carl, I'm pissed because that was, I put some thought into that one. That wasn't just like a, hey, how you doing? I miss you, love you, bye. It's like, okay, cool. If I got the like on that, I like winning, to the family dynamics. You know what I'm saying? Let them
But
know.
I'm saying, are you assuming that the thumbs up wasn't also very thought-provoking? Are you making that assumption? Are you making that assumption?
It could have been the
That
options
wasn't reflective?
The options are the exclamation mark, the ha ha ha.
on.
Yeah, she went through a couple of them to get to the
She
thumbs
went through a
up.
few
See?
of them. And it was like, the
man,
most
you know
appropriate one is thumbs
Yeah.
up.
All right, yep. Next text gonna be like, hey, I'm on my way. I'll be home in a few. You know what I'm saying? If we just doing likes, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about today. What did I want to talk about? Yeah, real quick. So a few people in Philly, came up to me, and shout out to everybody who listens to the podcast. Y'all listen to the podcast because you're listening to us right now. But like the podcast now has its own following, which I think is really cool. And I know E and Carl noticed it as well. Like you got some people who, only follow TGIM who look at me and Carl like, hold my coffee while I take a picture with E.
Right.
But shout out to the podcast followers, man, you and supporters. You guys are great. You come up to us. I love when you guys come up and talk about the podcast and what you like about the podcast and all of those things. And shout out to everybody who affirms me by, saying like, oh, we listened to you on the way to work and the way home. We just laughed. Thank you for being funny. Because all the people who write in are always like, every time he's in the middle of a great point, CJ has to make a joke and totally throw off my whole. I'm like, okay. So I get that on the email. But my people in person, y'all holding it down. Like, yo, please don't ever stop, what you guys are doing. So shout out to everybody, who comes up to us with that. And a lot of the podcast people came up to me, guys, and I'm not sure what kind of feedback you're getting. I know, Carl, you're famous now, and everybody's taking pictures with you. And
Crazy.
The whole nine. But a lot of people came up to me and, we're like, man, I'm hearing everything you're saying. We're taking it in. We're digesting it. I just don't know where to start. And I don't know how to start. Like, I don't have an LLC yet. Should I do this? Should I do that? And, the thing that I kept telling them, and I'll get you guys' take on it, is, yo, just start. Like, yo, quit waiting for permission. Like, I feel like so many of these people are waiting for, like, permission to, like, the perfect circumstance. Like, it's never going to be the perfect time. And I think we might even put some on Instagram the other day where you were saying, like, yo, it's never going to be the right time. It's never going to be the perfect moment. You have to take the moment and make it perfect. And I'm not sure how you guys feel about that or if people were asking you about that, but I look at our own track record and, forgive me, but that's all I have to speak from. It's like, at no point did we like go to anybody like, hey, what do you think about, us doing this? Okay, cool. Like we just started it and it grew. And trust me, when you start, there's growing pains and there's all these other things, but like, you guys speak to like how we got started. Like E called me and was like, yo, we doing this. And we just kind of like, got in the lab and figured it out. We told Carl we needed the media and Carl just kind of picked up a computer and figured it out. But the one thing we never did was stop and wait for permission. And E, I guess, or Carl, whoever wants to take it first.
Let me say this. I want to jump in here. Look, I hate to be the dead horse, right? But listen to me, guys. I keep saying this.
I keep
CJ
telling you
said,
it ain't dead. It ain't dead if they keep asking about it. It's alive and well. The self-assessed
dead.
horse is about to win the Kentucky Derby. Let me tell you something.
Man, you said it. See, you kept saying operative word. You kept saying we. And I think the biggest challenge, see, is still too many people are doing it alone. And I think it's genius what our Breathe University students are doing with these meetups, see. You know what I'm saying? And what people don't realize, even when you do the BU meetup, here's the challenge with the BU meetup, Carl. They might be meeting once or twice a week. We met every single day. We were together Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We probably only took Sunday off, and every blue moon I'd be at C's parents eating on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is this, guys, we had each other. So the way we got started is that we were literally in conversation about the business every day. Like we were each other's sounding board. We were each other's ears and eyes and hands. And so every day we're like, yo, what should we do? And we literally would just write down the list of, okay, this needs to get done. This needs to get done. This needs to get done. And we would just wake up every day. And a part of our day was, what do we need to do? Because we didn't know what we needed to do. That might have been, reading something. That might have been going on Google. But we would talk to each other and say, yo, what do we need to do? Let's write it down. And we would just spend every day, C said it, small victories. Okay, we went to the court. Like, look, y'all think we playing. One day might just be going to the courthouse and getting the paperwork. We didn't even fill that joint out. We just went and was like, okay, what do we need to do to start a nonprofit? Okay, cool, let's go get the paperwork. And then we might be online and it might say, to start a nonprofit, you need to do 50 things. And one of them was, go get the paperwork. We go get the paperwork, we come back, we staring at the paperwork one day. One day we ain't even filling nothing out. We just staring at it to see if we had what we need. So I would like to say, beating the dead, I would like to say, yo, get the meetups. Find other individuals, because you are acting as if you're the only one in the world that's stuck at Go. You're not it's about 400 of you guys in the same city that's stuck at Go. And what you guys need to do is meet at the library, meet at the Starbucks, meet on campus, but just get with a group of people and just don't stop, what's the word, Carl, brainstorming. And I used to hate, look, I'm just being real with y'all. I used to hate when teachers tell me, before you write the paper, brainstorm. I'm like, you know how much time I'm wasting brainstorming? I could just be writing. But this is what I realized. I didn't do succinct, thorough papers until I did spend some time just sitting down and saying, write all your ideas down. So I just want to say, one of the things that we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we brainstormed, we spent time together, and then we spent another part of the day just executing on what we brainstormed.
Yeah, and real quick, Carl, before you go, I want to ask E, because E, you are, kind of the visionary behind this, and I want to know what gave you kind of the courage, or whatever, to get started with a group of people, not necessarily being able to assure them of anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, everybody knows the story of Carl and I working for free and for years and that whole thing. But like, what gave you the audacity to say, yo, y'all come, this is what we're doing. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing, but this is what we can do together. Like, I don't think y'all understand something. Like, E made me the president of nothing. No. We had a ceremony.
We had a
no. Listen. Hold on. Let me tell the story. I might have told it before, but let me tell it again. We were in California. Carl, am I lying? I think we were at the Embassy Suites Hotel, right? We were in California at the Embassy Suites Hotel. At this point, I think we had lost our nonprofit status. We did not have an LLC. But we were together, and E was like, yo, I need everybody to come to the room. It might have been a couple volunteers who are no longer with us, me, Carl, E, whatever. And we all came to the room. I didn't know what was going on. And E had like a couple gifts for me or something, and was like, hey, just want to let you know, see, you've worked hard for this moment. You've grinded your way. You've been through a lot. You've been my right-hand man for a year, 2 years now, whatever it was. He was like, yo, I just want to let you know, I'm officially promoting you to president. And it was the best feeling of my life. And I had no idea what I was the president of. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm the president. She was like, oh, what? I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm the president of something, though. I am the president. And I'm laughing, and it's funny, but that's, to me, just an example of us just like, I don't want to say faking it till you make it, but us just like seeing it before it was there and just pushing go. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, that by you doing that to me, it gave me another level of like credibility in my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know what I was the president to, but like, I knew that you had enough faith in me to believe in me to go. And like, I took that as a responsibility or whatever, but eventually we did figure it out. And now I am the president of Eric Thomas and Associates, one of the top consulting companies in the country. And so people who are sitting there looking and waiting for the right moment, what do you say to them in terms of, you keep telling us, you're doing it by yourself, you're building a team and stuff. They don't have anything. So in their mind, if I would, like, imagine it's possible that you could have led us down, a destructive path, and we could have just been working 3, 4, 5, 6 years and never got a check. And then not only now are we not getting paid, but we broke with no skill set to go into like the real world and create a check. And that could have been a terrible thing. And some people live in that fear of, if I got these people working for me and it don't work out, then what? Now they feel not only the burden of their failure, but the failure of others.
Here's what I knew, see. It's funny, I tell people, my mother used to say when she was a teenager, teenage mom, people would ask her all the time, what do you want to do? And she said she couldn't answer that, see. But what she could answer is what she knew she didn't want to do and what she didn't want to be, as the adverse. So for me, see, I didn't know exactly where we would be, but I knew the problem. And I knew that less than 32% of African-American males and Latino males graduated in 6 years, see, not 4 years, in 6 years. That was at Michigan State, see. So I'm saying to myself, if that's at Michigan State, what about the Big Ten? What about the SEC? What about, you know what I'm saying, all these other conferences, see? So for me, I was like, I know for sure if I don't know what we're going to do, if I don't know exactly how it's going to work out, I know what the problem is. We got a major problem. Only 50% of African-American females and Latino females graduate in 6 years. So I may not have known what the solution was, but I know what the problem was. And I knew, especially with the history of you academically and me, see, I knew that we could relate to these individuals. And I knew we had, if not like a thorough plan or a thorough business
We had
plan,
18 years of bachelor's degree experience.
Absolutely. You feel what I'm saying? We had 18 years, see. So while no, I did not know at the end what this thing would look like, I knew there was a problem, not in Michigan. There was a problem in the world. There were major journals that spoke about it. There were people who were doing dissertation. There was research. There was government on a federal level, see, on a state level, on a local level. That this was a major concern in the United States of America. And I knew if there's anybody that can address it, it's me and C. You know what I'm saying? And with Carl being on the other extreme, I knew, like, Carl was in college at 16, right? So that's the other extreme. So I knew between the three of us, like, this is a challenge that we're up for. And we can do major damage. So that was the fire, see. That's what drove me and moved me. No, we didn't have all the other components, but no one in the world could tell me that we could not go in a classroom, or we couldn't go into school, or we couldn't go into a meeting or a boardroom, or we couldn't address Congress and say, hey, we not only know what the problem is, we believe we are the solution to that problem. That's why, that's why I was so passionate, because I knew, and look at where we are today, the Guru story. I knew we could do it, and you guys are just a physical manifestation. And what we're doing right now is just a physical manifestation, an outward manifestation of what I knew inwardly.
So see, I'm going to go back to the original question, but I just went upstairs, and I'm going to hold something up. E's here. So E, you remember this?
Oh,
I wish you could see it.
Shirt that I gave. That's the one I gave C? Is that the one I gave
I just found a shirt, C, that was in our bags when we were first brought onto the team.
Wow.
I actually got the shirt. It's a 2X. I don't know what size I was then, but I don't think I was a 2X.
Well,
I found the actual
I didn't want you to wear the
see.
shirt. I need to give you the vision, Carl.
Yeah, it's the actual shirt that he gave us. He gave us like a bag of little goodies. Like, man, y'all officially down with the squad. Y'all on the team. Let's
Is
get
it a
to
Break
work.
the Cycle shirt?
It's a Break the Cycle shirt.
The color
Which one, the white and black one?
The white and black, yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to send you a pic, because I want to make sure you know. This one was before us, see. It's the one that he had before us, not the one we used for, like, Crenshaw and all that.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Of course, the throwback. The
the
retro.
yellow
Hey, that
beat.
joint
The
might be
yellow
worth
beat.
some money right now.
Yeah, the yellow B, the red T,
Oh
the,
yeah, yeah.
blue
Oh, I know
seats.
exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
hey, to answer the question, man, y'all taking me back to my science background, but Newton had, you talk about the 1700, Newton had his laws, and Newton's law said an object at rest stays at rest, or an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted by an external force. And all that is saying is, if it's at rest, it's gonna stay at rest. But if it's moving, it's gonna keep moving with that same speed. So unless some force, some friction, something inhibits it, something does something, it's gonna keep moving. So for all of you that are staying and not doing anything, that's the result. That's the end result. You will stay at rest. You will never get to the point that you're trying to get to if you don't make a move. And those of you that are moving, it's easier to get that thing to shift once it's moving. Everybody, like, you had an assignment. I remember
That's real,
editing.
Carl. Think about that. Like, you think about when the car stall out, right? And you got to,
Yep.
like, put it in neutral. Like, you can't
And
turn
push
the
that
wheel
joint.
when it's stuck
Yep.
slow.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But once you get that
Yep.
joint rolling, you got 5 people pushing, you can
Way
almost
easier
drive
to
it
turn.
regular.
Way easier
Wow,
to
that's
turn.
deep.
See, just took a scientific
No
theory
doubt.
and just
I put it bootleg. You know what I'm saying? Put it
Carl
on my
just took
old
us to the-
Bonneville. You know what I'm saying? I thought about my old Bonnie when she broke down.
Carl just
We
had me in
4 people.
class.
No,
I
I'm
was just
saying
in
you
the
can't. When you
science
sitting
class.
still, you can't turn the wheel. You can't go
can't.
nowhere. You can't
It's
change
almost
direction.
impossible.
No question.
So,
No
Wow.
so no, for real. So
You like
and
that hood
the other-
analogy, E? You know what I'm saying? I let Carl break down the scientific. I just come with the hood
You gotta
analogy.
love the dynamics of this podcast, though. You gotta love the dynamics.
We got everybody covered, baby.
Oh, hey, remind me to drop some on that in a minute, the dynamics of this team. I thought about some this weekend that I have to share. But anyway, the other thing, I was thinking about is you did a paper and you lost the paper and you got to do it again. Let's walk through that. I'm saying the first time you do it, it's tough. Don't get me wrong. It's tough. Like, you don't know where to start. You just start writing some stuff. It don't make sense. You erase it, you delete it. But you do that paper and lose it and have to redo it. What happens? Hey, both of y'all, just tell me what happens. How much easier is it the second time?
I mean, I got at least what I had from the first time. You know what I'm
You-
saying?
you
Like,
already
I
got
gotta
what you-
start from
We've
scratch.
had to do this podcast over the second
Over
time.
again. And it's way, I'm telling y'all, it happens. So again, if you get in motion, it's way easier to correct, to redo, to refix once you in motion. But you gotta get in motion. Take some step. Do some, like she said, just go
That's a wrap,
online
y'all.
and do
It's
some
over.
research. Yeah,
Carl just shut the whole podcast down. We can go home now.
Yeah, no,
Right,
it's
right,
real.
right.
It's real. See, I don't know where you're going, but I want to.
Yeah.
I'll take the lead for me. Are you good with that? Because there's something else I thought about this weekend. I was like, yo, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure that, people understand, because like I said, I just think, with what E talked about is so crucial in terms of the team, and to stick with the car analogy, it's just like, yo, when you get started, somebody said, and I don't know where I heard it, but somebody was talking about, like, if you see somebody on the side of the road, right, and they got their thumb out, nobody stops to help them. When they just got their thumb out, not doing nothing, nobody stops to help them. But if you driving down the road and you see a dude in the back pushing it by himself,
push
no
it.
question.
30
Push
people
and
get out and
steer.
start
Yeah.
jumping and helping
Yeah.
my man push.
Yeah.
And I think, to that analogy, it's like, yo, when I looked at E was already by himself pushing a big semi. And so I just jumped out and started pushing in the back with him. He didn't have his thumb out like, yo, here's something I think we may be able to, and I think that's the problem with some of y'all is like you looking for somebody to jump
stay
on
right
a
there.
boat that ain't been built yet. And I'm saying when I jumped on E's boat, he already had a boat. You trying to get somebody to jump out the window with you and you ain't even thought about the parachute. You ain't thought about nothing that's going on. So to that analogy, like I said, start pushing the car. Other people will come and help once you start pushing. But as long as you just gonna sit there with your thumb out, people looking at you like you're not serious. Your car broke down. You ain't did nothing to try to even help yourself. So why would I help you? And I think that's the major thing, E, as it speaks to the team, because in the team dynamic, what you're saying is so true and so important. You can't do it by yourself. But most people sit there and complain about not having a team, and they don't have anything in place to even, require or demand or attract a team.
Hey,
Can we
and
remix?
I was gonna say, I promise you right now, before the thought can get out of my head properly, I got an email with somebody volunteering to do the thought that I was just about to think. I'm not trying to be funny. Before the thought can come out of my head properly, yesterday I was sitting down thinking through some stuff like, yo, this would be super helpful. I promise y'all, I got one of the guys in BU, JR, sent me, like, my man sent me some stuff last night that I couldn't even sleep. He sent me, I watched like 2 hours worth of webinars last night with some content my man sent. And I was like, yo, this is what I was looking for. And then here's the kicker. Not only did he send me the content, he says, oh, I know the CEO of the company. I connected with my man like 3 years ago, and I stayed in contact with him. So here's his number. Anything you need? As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell him you're going to hit him up tomorrow. Oh, he said don't hit him up tomorrow. He on the road. Y'all can connect on Friday. I thought it that morning, and that nighttime it showed up because people see us as we pushing the semi now, like C said. So I'm telling y'all, the help is there, but you got to be moving. You got to be moving.
I think the crazy thing is, guys, like when we talk about it, and I know we mentioned it before, but, you know, you kind of feel your way forward, you know, and I'm thinking about, you know, you guys, you know, the infamous story, and some of you, you know, have heard us talk about it, but, you know, the booklets that we made, you know what I mean? Like when we bounced back from, you know, not raising the money that we thought we were going to make, and we, you know, made those booklets, like, yo, we thought that was our ticket. Like, we thought for sure we were going to make $500,000 off of these booklets. Yeah. We didn't make 1 red cent off of it, but we learned, you know what I mean? And you go forward. Absolutely. And to E's point, when we talk about the small victories, it was funny because somebody in Philly was like, dude, I can't remember. Shout out to my man, though. He was like, yo, how does it feel? He was like, yo, just look around. And there was people everywhere. And I was taking pictures. Carl was taking pictures. He was doing his thing, taking pictures. And he was like, yo, how does it feel? Like, for real, does it feel surreal when you look around? And I was like, yo, not really. And I was like, yo, trying to think of the best analogy to explain it. And he was like, yo, what do you mean not really? I'm like, yo, like last year it was just a few less people. You know, in the year before that was a few less people. Like, so we've built to this moment. I said the best way I can describe it to you is like when I take Trey back to Michigan, people see him and they're like, yo, he's huge. But I don't walk in every day to my house and see Trey and go, my goodness, you've grown. Like he doesn't look any taller to me today than he was last week or last month. Now, when I look at pictures or something, I can say, okay, yeah, he's growing. But every single day I'm with him. So I don't see the growth the way that somebody who lives in Michigan and only sees him once every 2 months sees him, right? And so for me, this brand, that's the way I look at it. It's like living with Trey. It's like, yo, I don't come in every day and go, whoa. But if you only look at us once every 6 months, once every year, I can see the wow factor. But for me, grateful, absolutely, eternally grateful for, 700 people showing up and going crazy and showing love to the brand and supporting and going to the next level and having their lives transformed. But no, I don't stop and go, oh my God, this is incredible. I told people like that would be the equivalent of like me going, off and not seeing Trey for 2 years and coming back and being like, wow, you know what I mean? Like he's huge. And so for real, man, I just think if people understood that getting started and just figuring it out, guys, what our company looks like now, it could not be any different than where we started. He talking about retention rates and all of that. And I'm like, yo, we're just now getting back to that stuff kind of heavy. Like we kind of departed from that. And now it's coming full circle where we're back in the schools heavy and, back doing this work heavy. But for a long time, we detoured off that road and the company took us somewhere else.
I want to make a point, but I want to say something to your point. Actually, we have not. Listen, I want y'all who are listening to me to listen. We started, for real, hear what I'm saying and get ready for application. So wherever you are right now, look, I need your undivided attention. And if you're driving, like I always say, when you get home, come back to this piece because this is important. I started with Carl, CJ, and then those who came along later, Lashana's and the, Jamal's, etc. We started at a university, guys. We're not doing anything different. We literally have a university now. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? See, Breathe University. We've never talked about this before, but as you're talking, I'm like, yo, see, we were doing it for Michigan State, but everything we did and we learned, we now have our own university. And everything, the retention, the small groups, the cohorts, you know what I'm saying? What Candace had, a dream team. She had a division. See, you had your division. And if you want to be real, everything we've learned, we're pouring back now into what we call Breathe University. And we started with no students. We got over 3,500 students right now, and it's growing. We got game changers. You've got Thrive. You've got Strive. You've got Survive. You've got the different stay ready, the greatness is upon you. You know, the sessions, the books. Like, yo, see.
Yeah, but I think, but I don't think. Well, I guess my point was, you're absolutely right, and I'm not saying that the skill sets and the things we learn, but we're not actually working for a university like we were when we first started. All three of us worked for the university when we started, so it's manifested into something different, and those skill sets absolutely have translated over. But I think that's the part of starting is you don't know exactly what it's going to look like structurally or how it's going to pan out, but using those skill sets and finding out, hey, I actually have something that we can turn into something from this.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying what C is saying, get started, because guys, I'm being real. We never knew that we would have a university. Like, we didn't do this to say, yo, you know what? We're going to start Breed University. Like, we got started, did what we supposed to do. Now, I wanted to say this. Help me, God. Janet Jackson says, you know, what have you done for me lately? And I want to shift that to my entrepreneurs and say, what have you done for you lately? Right? And based on what you do for you, with the car analogy, is really going to determine what other people are willing to do for you. So one of my, he like a brother to me. I'll never forget. He called me. He was serious. He wanted to start a group home. In some kind of way, he had gotten with the right people, and all he needed to really jumpstart this thing, was finances. And so he called me and said,
that's a big one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love when people say
just
that.
a couple
Yo, I
dollars.
got everything taken care of. All I need is 100,000. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, sometimes, you know, depending on what you're doing, you need the, you know, the curriculum, you know, the licensing, all of that, you know. So he has everything he needs. He's got the what do you call it? The mentors, the people who've done it before, whatever, you know, he just needs investors. He calls me and says that it's going to take $320,000 to make this happen, Carl. Nothing, that's doable. You know, you're not talking about millions, right?
Alrighty then.
Hey, CJ, take a guess on how much money he wanted me to invest in the company.
I say 20,000.
$320,000.
I was only 300,000 off. I was only
See, I'm tripping because my man called me and tell me he need $320,000.
Oh yeah, no. If I give you $320,000, it's my company.
It's my company,
absolutely,
see?
yeah.
And so I'm just saying, like, some of y'all laughing because I'm laughing.
Wow.
I need a small loan.
Yeah, but the reality is that's what you're doing. It may not be $320,000, but in terms of what it takes to make a company happen, you're asking people to help you do what you haven't even gotten started. Like, you haven't done anything. And so
I got the curriculum, E. I got the curriculum.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, so you're asking, you can't ask Carl, you can't say to Carl, give me a third. CJ, give me a third. So what I'm gonna ask you to do as an entrepreneur, I'm gonna ask you to do as much as you can, as often as you can on your own. I'm gonna ask you to get as much of it done as you possibly can, so that when you ask others to do it, you won't be saying, I need 320,000. Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. If my man would have said I needed 320 grand and I've raised 220, in my mind, Carl, I would have been like, yo,
done deal.
You 2/3 there, bro. I gotta help you. Look, if you were able to raise that much money, you got the curriculum, you got the licensing.
How much did he have raised?
You got the curriculum, you got the licensing.
How much did he have raised?
You got the mentee, you got the mentor, the mentee. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I mean, what, 15,000?
I'm saying if you got the curriculum, the mentor, the mentee, you feel what I'm saying?
5,000. 5,000.
Listen to me. You're not hearing me. If you have the curriculum, you have the look, my mama said if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Yeah, so some of y'all, that's what y'all on, man. You've done absolutely nothing. And you know what bothers me? See, this what pissed me off.
250 in the jawbreaker.
This what pissed me off. People want you to support their idea, Carl. I can't support your idea. Look, I come up with my own idea. Come on, what the hell makes sense? But people want to give you an idea. Hey, bro, we should start a cupcake business. Okay, but our cupcake's gonna be different. Our cupcake's gonna have fillings on the inside. We're gonna do strawberry filling. We're not gonna put the icing on top. We're gonna put the filling on the inside. Okay, but Okay, and so have you bought the equipment? Do you have flour? Do you have sugar? And so that's my problem. People come to me all the time with an idea, but then they want to share the revenue, see? And it's again what you said. If I give you 320, it belongs to me. So I'm just saying,
Yeah, that's
one.
true, man. And like I said, I think for myself, and I'm just thinking back, and guys, all we can do is kind of decode what we've been able to go through. But when we met E was pastoring the church. He was flying around speaking. He was, already very influential. He was speaking at colleges. The reason he was at Michigan State is because he had a graduate assistantship for the work he had already been doing. So what he's saying is true. Now, his business wasn't necessarily thriving. I think he was at a level 3 out of 10. He says 4. I don't know.
Here we
I
go
give him
again.
2.9. Yeah.
I'm not going to go there, Carl. I'm not going to go there on the podcast, Carl.
But what I will say is he had bought the flour. He had the sugar. He had, the icing. And he was already making the cupcakes when I came along, and I just might have doubled the process. Carl might have tripled the process. You know what I mean? Like we added to it. But I hope you guys understand that what he's saying is like, yo, you have got to get started. Nobody want to help the guy who got his thumb out on the side of the road. We think you a serial killer, flat out. I ain't trying to be funny. But the guy who pushing his joint, we feel like you just down on your luck or you need some help. And I think that's the difference, man. There's so many of y'all for real. Let me just say it, because you waiting on permission. I think, Willie kind of said it at in Philly. He told my man, like, it's okay. Go for it. Here is your official permission slip to be great, to be successful.
Great.
Yes, you have full permission. I don't know who you waiting on to say it, but since you waiting on somebody, let me be the first to say you have full permission to go and be great and to go try and be great. And I think that's the thing, is just getting people started. Once we got started, I'll be real, stuff just started coming to us. Like, now, do we hit some roadblocks? Absolutely. But I'm saying once you start, you figure out what doesn't work. I love it. People say, yo, the albums you're doing is crazy and all of this and all of that. And I'm like, yo, thank God y'all didn't have to see all the stuff that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank God Instagram wasn't around when the booklets came out, right? Because we'd have had them all on IG, like, look at what we doing. And then we would have had to answer for the fact that we spent a couple grand and produced absolutely $0, right? But that was a part of the growing process. And I think y'all need to understand that the quicker you get started, the quicker you make those mistakes, the quicker you fail, the quicker you're on your way to success.
To success. Hey, don't, let me just say it like this. Don't put on your seatbelt to sit in the car.
Right.
Just don't put on your seatbelt to sit in the car. Like, if you're going to put on your seatbelt, you're going to have to start the engine. You're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to steer the car. You're going to have to put your foot on the gas. But don't put on your seatbelt and just sit there. It don't make no doggone sense. You can sit there without the seatbelt on. But, I mean, it sounds funny, but that's what a lot of people are doing. Like, you're preparing in your mind and you're doing stuff, and you're just sitting there. You put the seatbelt on and, yep, we're going to do this. And I can see that we're going to drive from here and we're going to go to Tennessee or wherever, but you still sitting in the car. Like, seriously, you got to do something. Start the car up. And then when you start the car up, put it in drive. And then when you put it in drive, you put your foot on the gas, you turn the wheel. There's steps that you can take. And here's the key. CJ just said it. Take the steps that you know how to take now. Don't even worry about the other stuff. Take the steps that you know how to take right now. There's one step that you know exactly what you got to do. Do that one. And I'm promising you, I don't know how to explain this, but as soon as you take that one, like one B gonna kind of show its head. You know what I'm saying? And then one C, and then it's like, wait a minute, you want 4 and you didn't even realize what happened, but you got to take out that first step, man. Just don't leave that seatbelt on and sit there.
No questions asked. Yeah, see, man, I want to say this too, Carl, because it could get discouraging. Let's just be real, guys. And that's why it was important that we had each other. So we didn't really deal with a lot of negativity. But I do want to challenge you guys, to do yourself a huge favor. If there's 40 things to do and you wake up in the morning and you go after them, and, unfortunately, you don't get what you want to get done, or things don't happen the way you think they should happen or in the time frame you think it should happen, you got to do me a huge favor. Like, look, we're not telling you to be ignorant. We're not telling you, not to be a realist. But what we are saying is like, yo, focus on what you're getting done. Like, focus on, the motion. Like, focus on the fact, like Carl said, that there is movement. Like, don't trip on the fact that, like, yo, I'm stuck in traffic. We're only doing 30 miles per hour, 35. Like, yo, I've been in some cities where, like, literally, Carl, it was at a standstill on the freeway. So if you're only doing 20, Like, embrace that. You're only doing 30 miles per hour, embrace that. 40 miles, you looking on the other side. You looking at CJ, E, Carl, you looking at ETA, you looking at us and you looking at the cars going by. You like on the other side of the road, they're moving. And let me tell y'all, like yesterday I was at the Western Hotel working out. And this is why I'm saying this, y'all. I couldn't believe this grown man. So we on the treadmill. There's one that's out of order. Grown man. Your mindset is important, guys. CJ says it all the time. Don't just get small victories. Embrace them doggone small. Make you a cup of coffee when you get one. Go get some tea. Like go to the spa, and celebrate it. Like, look, we're not playing. Celebrate the small doggone victories. So my man comes down, and I guess I don't know, maybe mentally, my man just not there. Like, he just don't understand how stuff works. So he comes downstairs and all the treadmills are taken. Now, shout out to Sean and especially CJ, the podcast we did not too long ago. So I'm doing the 1 minute, sprint, boys, see. So I'm instead of just like running for 30 minutes, I'm on the treadmill for an hour, but I'm doing I'm doing the 8, I'm hitting the interval, boy, the training. And so I stop at like 28 minutes. And so my man's thinking, Carl, I'm getting off. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But it didn't have the 30-minute courtesy, boy, Carl. It didn't have like, you could only be on the treadmill for 30 minutes. There was no sign, Carl. So I'm like, I got an hour. I'm going in. So about 28 minutes, 30 seconds, my man comes up to me and like, yo, you finished? I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't finished. Like, you about to be finished? I'm like, no, I ain't about to be finished, right? And so now he got an attitude, Carl. All the treadmills are taken. Come on, man. But Carl, you got weights. You got another elliptical machine. You got bikes. You got all kind of stuff. You got bench press. And so I guess he's upset, Carl. And so he tries to open the outside door. It didn't work. So he cussing now, and he storms out, Carl.
And you had to remember that you were rebaptized.
Oh, man. I'm going to be real. I was so in the zone, I wasn't even paying attention to my man. But, Carl, I'm not lying, y'all. I cannot make this stuff up. One of the young ladies who worked at the Westin must have come in because he was complaining, and she came in and looked. And look, I'm not lying. She came in and looked. And then she ran back out to catch my man. What happened, see, not 30 seconds later, on everything I love, not 30 seconds after he ran out pissed, Carl, somebody got off one of the treadmills, Carl. Not 30 seconds, bruh. Not 30 seconds, bruh. So he runs and go tell the lady, I guess, that they own more than 30 minutes or whatever he told her. So by the time she comes
if it's that deep to you, you need to get up earlier, bruh.
Or CJ, even if it's that, it's an elliptical, it's a bike. Listen to what we're talking about. We're not talking about treadmills. We're saying that if you're in your business and you need to get this document filled and that don't work out, start working on your website. If the website don't work out, go start working on your cards. If your cards don't work out, go get the bank account set up. If the bank account, hear what I'm telling you. I'm saying stop stopping because stuff not working out the way you think it should work out. My man leaves. 30 seconds, somebody gets off the treadmill. Then after that, another person gets off. It's 2 treadmills open in 5 minutes. And if he would have just not gotten so discombobulated, so bothered, so pissed off and stormed out. Had he just waited 30 seconds, had he just waited 1 minute, both of them would have been open. So I'm just saying to somebody, take your small victories and treat them like big victories. And this is why I'm saying it. This ain't no Jedi mind trick. We literally got more out of the small victories than we do the conferences right now. It's what CJ just said. When we do a big conference, we don't come in there screaming and hollering. But when Steve Harvey said just a simple, we waited for doggone 6 hours and he got off stage and just said, yo, break the cycle, I dare you. Bruh, we were screaming and hollering, running up and down. Bruh, it's the small victories. When they sent us our EIN number, I think that's what it was. We celebrated for weeks. When we got our bank account and we got the checkbooks, bro, we celebrated for weeks. Now we bring in hundreds of people. I'm talking to 10,000 people, and I don't have the same, excitement talking to 10,000 people that I do when we got our EIN number or when somebody gave us a space to work in or when we got the cover. I was more excited, Carl, about the cover of the book than I was the completion of the book.
Yeah, that's true.
Which one? Which cover?
The Thor. Thor was the one I was geeked up about.
I'm saying, I mean, we laughing, but Thor was the example. We started, y'all.
Deep
We started
cover.
and realized that
no
wasn't
doubt.
it.
Yeah, we wouldn't have got to the flags without Thor. That is absolutely true. Wow. Why did you have to bring that? I'm not gonna make that a thing and start laughing. I promise you. I
Don't
won't
play
do
when I reprint that joint with that on there. Don't play.
Oh man, we need to at least make the T-shirts or something, man. So, real quick, anybody, Carl, did you get out what you wanted to say? You something from this weekend?
So
yeah,
random.
go for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So this is random, y'all. Forgive me. We'll figure out how to tie it in. She just graded that. But I'm gonna ask y'all some real easy questions real quick. Where are you and your siblings?
What you mean by that?
I'm saying, how many siblings you have? Well, just the immediate ones. I didn't mean to go there. I'm immediately, real simple.
Don't get me in trouble though. My father listened to this podcast when you say immediate.
Yeah, no, my fault.
So when you say I was raised
Just with your
though,
mom.
my mom,
Yeah, raised.
I was raised
Yeah.
with two sisters. I
All
was
right,
raised with two sisters.
And you were what in line?
I'm the oldest.
All right, CJ, how many siblings?
2.
How many siblings? And you were what in line?
2.
All right. Carl, how many siblings? 1 older brother, and I'm the youngest of 2. And I was thinking about this. Morgan, she actually asked me a question this weekend, and she and I got to talking. And I was like, yo, we never went deeper with this. Like, who we are is not who we are now. Like, who we are was something from, like, it's a part of our upbringing. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And who we are and why we did the DIS analysis and the gorilla and all that, that's one side of it. But I was just looking like, yo, E is a nurturer because he was a nurturer. Like, he grew up with 2 younger sisters. C's a middle brother. So C is, I'm talking about, you're talking about just connecting, being able to just take stuff. And see, I talked to your dad. He was like, yo, they never fought. And here's why. He explained some stuff to me. But you grew up with that. Like, it ain't never going to be no beef. We could get right to it, and it ain't going to be nothing because you had 2 brothers, 1 older, 1 younger. You were the middle child. So you had to figure out some stuff. I grew up a youngest child. You know what I'm saying? And weirdly enough, I'm older than C, but C's like my bigger brother. E's, of course, like an older brother for me.
A dad.
Grandfather.
He wanted to say grandfather. See, he was tongue twisted. He tried to say granddaddy, and he called himself.
No, I was just thinking about that, man, and just see how, and my wife always said this, like, yo, how you grew up plays a lot into everything that you do today. And I was just like, yo, it's crazy how that dynamic literally plays out in our every single day life. In every activity we do, every business we do, every call we do, literally, that's the pattern that we have. And it's not random. Literally, it's who we are. It's our exposure. It's our environment. It's everything. So I was like, yo, that's crazy. So I just, like, literally, me and Morgan were just talking about that this week. And I was like, yo, we never discussed that. Like, we never really thought that through. But I think that's something huge there. And the message to people is, like, you got to understand people. And I'm saying, you don't walk around asking people if they're the oldest or the youngest. But, like, you really got to understand people and where they come from when you're working with them. You can't just have surface relationships. Like, you have to understand who people are. And it'll explain a lot of why they do what they do. That's all I wanted to kind of bring out.
Oh, no, 1,000%. I wish you would have saved it because we could have got a whole podcast out of that.
Oh, we could bring it back next week. We could bring it back.
Exactly. Yeah, no, 100%, Carl. And I actually never talked about it because I never even thought about that part of the dynamic. Like, of course, I thought about, our personal characteristics that kind of make us us and, the reason that we work together just in terms of, the brains, the hands, the mouth. But never in terms of, the actual, order in which we were born and kind of the roles that we fulfilled in our families growing up and how that relates to now. So, no, that's deep, bro. E, you good? Anything else before I jump into Ask ET?
No, other than, and don't try this at home. I got to start coming up with a don't try this at home segment because when I'm on the conference, people be saying all kind of stuff. I'm like, you shouldn't try that because CJ told you that. So this is do not try this in your company. Do not make somebody president of what you don't know what it is right now, okay? Don't get nobody no T-shirt and a whole bunch of gifts and just make up something, all right? So I know CJ said that.
I'm trying to think of what else you gave me, though. It was like something else, like a little, I don't know if it was like a bronze key or like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't remember.
Couple
I'm just
things
saying,
in the bag.
Yeah, I'm just saying, whatever you do, though, don't. Somebody was thinking when you said that, see, they listen to this podcast right now, and they about to give somebody something,
no
make
doubt.
them president of something that they're not
No
president
doubt.
of because they heard you say it. So I'm saying, please don't try that at home.
Oh, somebody getting ready to hurt their feelings, too. Ask ET is brought to you by BreatheUniversity.com. Listen, man, I'm tired of telling y'all myself, so I wanted to read something from from a BU member that I got, and I sent it to you guys in the text yesterday just because, man, what we're doing is working. Like, it is literally working for people and individuals and families, and they are going to the next level because of Breathe You. And I was like, yo, instead of me just talking about it, let me go ahead and read this, testimonial that I got, that they sent the email to me. And I mean, it made my day. But it says, hey, CJ, I just wanted to show you this from last weekend. And it's a picture of a young lady by the name of Lisa on stage with a bunch of physical fitness competitors. She said, this is from our local show. Last year, same show, I had 4 clients competing. This year I had 16, and I've added 2 more coaches to my team. In 1 year, my business has quadrupled in size, and I contribute all of this growth to what I've learned in BU. The Thursday and Sunday calls have been the backbone of my growth, and implementing what I've learned has been paramount. Thank you doesn't quite cut it. I'm just silly blessed to be a part of BU. Thank you for all the knowledge you share and time you give to us. Sincerely, Lisa Espinoza. And man, that just made my day when I got it. Listen, guys, people are in BU, and not only are they, getting a network that's out of this world. Like, if nothing else, connect yourself to a network of hardworking, honest, people who, believe in going to the next level, believe in looking out for one another. Like, we just have people who are so connected, one, and then the information, as you can, hear from Lisa's testimonial, her business is quadrupled in size. And, I saw Lisa not that long ago, and she was just grateful. Like, man, it's like I had the vision. I knew, kind of what I wanted to do, but you guys just set me down the right path and continue to, provide that support. So shout out to her for taking, the principles and taking them to the next level. And if you want to be a part of this community and a part of this network, join us at breatheuniversity.com. Sign up, man. Get your family involved. The workshops, the marriage stuff, the live event discounts and tickets and seating preferences, and just everything we got on there right now is just amazing. And we're really hitting our stride. So we'd love for you to be a part of the family. Real quick, let's go to Ask ET. We have some questions here from all over the place. Let me find a good one. Paul in New Mexico said, I thank you guys so much for all your talk about fitness and health. I'm trying to get my health together, but I'm having trouble finding something I can commit to every day as far as my schedule goes. ET, how did you find the time in your schedule to be so dedicated? Please help.
Walking. I talk a lot on the phone. I don't know what you do for a living, but I started with the whole, just walking. They said 10,000 steps a day is pretty much, like a nice little average. And so I started there. And, podcasts, I try to stay active. In the morning when I go walk, I try to take it a little bit more serious. And that's it, man. So just doing my conference calls or doing my different, calls throughout the day, I try to, instead of sitting on a couch or sitting in a chair, engaging in that conversation, I try to put on my gym shoes and take a walk during that time. And I know this is not your job, but I learned it also when we were at the ISMS training, that this whole body language thing. So for me, man, I just try to use my talk time to stay active. When I'm watching a game, I do push-ups or sit-ups. When I'm watching a game, I try to walk on the treadmill, and instead of just sitting on the couch eating, and this was so crazy. I don't know how it happens, and I'm sure it's a science behind it. Carl, you can help me out, but I've noticed that when I sit, Carl, and watch the game, I've got wings, chip dip, I got some kind of fruit juice or some drink, I'm just not eating right. But I notice, Carl, when I'm on the treadmill watching the game, it's water or my juice, you know what I'm saying? So I just realized, like what Carl was saying earlier, when you're in motion, you just seem to be a lot more productive in all areas, versus, that sedentary lifestyle where you're just kind of chilling. So yeah, man, that's what's working for me, talking and making my moves while I talk.
Good. James in Milwaukee said, hey, ET, love the podcast and love what you do. I got forced out of my job. I'm doing okay financially, but not sure what to do now. I'm 53 and healthy. I have a lot of fight left, just not sure where to channel my passion.
Yeah, well, I mean, we would have to sit down, and really give me a little bit more background, but I would say this to you. I look at my mom who retired, so it's the same thing. You were forced out, she retired. But I'm looking at my mom take all those skills that she used to use for a company, and now my mom is using those skills that she picked up from 30 years of working, and she's using them for her own life. Mm-hmm. So she's written a book. She's on radio now. My mom is getting ready, what she says, to tour the world and just talk about, raising, E.T. the hip hop preacher. She's also working with our company and some of the things she learned in terms of sales. She's using it for us. So I'm just gonna say, and I'm sure, Carl, what is that theory that, is it energy is never lost? What is it? That's energy is never lost?
Energy's never, yep.
Transferred.
Just transferred, yep.
And so I'm saying,
created or destroyed, yep.
Yeah, it's not created or destroyed. So for you, take that same energy that you were given to that company and transfer it to you, and to your family and to your life. So I'm watching my mother, like literally, I'm watching my mother. She has more life in using it for herself than she ever did when she used it for Ford. So take all that stuff, man, that you've had. You are an asset to the world. You have a particular set of skills. Use that, to start the rest of your life. We always say, make the rest of your life the best of your life, and we mean it. So take all that stuff, man, and recycle it and use it for the rest of your life, man.
1,000%. Do some consulting, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got, I lost my questions. Oh, Davin in Seattle said, hey, E.T., love what you do. Any tips on increasing my faith?
Living. Living, man. But I would just say being more aware. Another thing I learned at the ISMS training, they probably spent a third of their time talking about awareness. And I really do think that faith is just about being more aware of how much time, you devote to your spiritual life, how much time you devote to really being aware of the blessings in your life. There's a lot of stuff, man, we take for granted. I tell people, I don't care how deep you are, how educated, how much money you make. At the end of the day, nobody is real clear on how people wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody is real clear on what's the process of a person. Like, I don't care how much money you have. You don't have a machine that guarantees you're going to get up. You don't have a machine that guarantees that, when you inhale or exhale, it's going to work. That when you tell your right leg to move, that it moves. So I would just say, man, be more aware of the blessings, be more aware of, just life, man. And as you're more aware of the spiritual, person in you and around you, I think your faith will increase.
Yeah, no, and you heard us talk a little bit about it earlier, the small wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you set you want to set huge goals, right? But you want to set small tasks. And when you complete those tasks, like, that increases faith. And, I'm as an entrepreneur, and, this is something I would like to talk about in the podcast, coming up, E and Carl, but faith is, really everything. It's literally the backbone of everything. Because think about it, if your faith was strong enough to believe that it was going to happen, you'd never quit. You know what I mean? It's like, if I told you, like, it's $1 million at the end of this road, you'd literally never stop walking. The reason you quit and you give up and you get sidetracked and have to start over is because you don't fully, 100% believe that it's going to happen. So that's something that I actually want to talk about on the whole podcast, is just kind of the faith that we had and, kind of how to increase that daily, with those small wins. Real quick, Angelica said, hey, E.T., thank you so much for coming out to Philly. The conference was life-changing. My question is, with all this new motivation I have, how do I get my peer group who is not in attendance some of the same fire that I now have? They're like, E.T. trying to pub the conference up. I'm not, but I tell you all the time, it's what Carl used to say, E, you didn't went to, Australia, and it was transformational for you. It was life-changing. You met people. There are certain things that you experienced, and as a result of you being exposed to those things, you came back a better person. But yet you want me to grow at your level when I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fair. It's like you went to go see a movie that another person didn't see, and you coming back explaining the movie to them. Like, girl, remember the part where? No, I don't remember that part. But side note, EU used to do that to us all the time. Lord have mercy.
Right. I'm just saying. Yeah, right. But and so that's why I can answer
Carl
this
was sitting there like, I know he didn't just say that.
No, but that's why I brought Carl up, because Carl was the one that really brought that to my attention, because I wasn't aware, just like this young lady isn't, because you come back fired up. Like, you come back, you change. So you come back with all this energy, like, yeah. So I would just say to you, I don't know if the tape is going to be available. Of course, the recording is not the same. But if you can get your hands on, I think if you're a part of Breathe You, if I'm not mistaken, which she sounds like she is, you'll have access to it and you'll be able to share that. But I'm saying, like, this is why I tell people you have to come with your spouse. Like, I'm being real. When I started working out heavy and Dee Dee wasn't working out, I'm being real. See, it caused more division in my family than anything else. Like,
no
it caused
doubt.
some major
Oh,
division,
no doubt.
bro.
Don't you be trying to get your sexy on without me. Like, what
See,
you
I'm just
trying
gonna
to
be
do?
real.
What you trying to do here?
The 6 pounds I lost wasn't worth my marriage.
No,
I should have gained 6.
We,
You know what I'm saying?
we healthy together, we chunky
You know what I'm
together.
saying? And I just realized that, like, yo, start with walking. Dee Dee don't mind walking. You know, then she don't like treadmills, but she ended up getting an elliptical. She liked the elliptical. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but not just your friends. Anybody you love, you got to be careful of outgrowing them, unless you're trying to get rid of them. But if you're not trying to get rid of them, you're trying to be with them, you don't have a healthy relationship, you can't outgrow people. So I had to slow down with Dee Dee. I had to slow down until Dee Dee was comfortable with, all right, now we working out. Okay, now we changing our diet. And she changed the diet on me. I didn't want to do that. But she was like, nope, I got to do both. I got to change my diet and I got to work out. So I'm just saying, like, for real, if you're going to do these conferences, if you're going to read books, try to find a way to do it with your peer group, with your accountability partners, with the people that you love. Am I saying it's going to be easy? No. But at least if you are aware that this is what needs to happen and you fight for it, you got a 50-50 chance of them, you know, attending these conferences with you. But don't grow alone. You know, grow with the people you love.
Yeah, no doubt. And real quick, last one. I think we did this already, but somebody said, how did, she must be a new listener. Let me see what's the name.
Those new listeners.
Eileen in Pittsburgh said, how did you guys propose to your wives? I think we told this story.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
covered
definitely
a little
did
bit,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And-
I'll go first if you're ready.
Please.
Yeah, mine was simple, y'all. I was young. Well, I was young too. I wasn't young, but I was young. So we did her birthday, and that day I just had the whole day mapped out. I'm talking about, you know, the spa, hair, nails, the whole nine. We did a photo shoot, the whole nine, and then the evening I took her to a park that she liked, and she always laughs at me, but I'm kind of silly, so I showed her the receipt. And I was like, yo, you know, the things we did today, this cost that. And she had this look on her face like, what is you saying? Like, what is wrong with you? And I told her, she said I MasterCarded her. I was like, yo, this is what it's all cost, but to spend the rest of my life with you would be priceless. And I just dropped down on the knee there, and I was like, yo, would you marry me? And that was it. So just nothing super, super deep, but I took the MasterCard line and made it mine.
I love it. Yep, I love it. Yep. Y'all didn't know Carl had it in him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't know Carl had it in him.
I just want to get out the way before CJ give his, because he went all out. So I just want to get mine out the way.
Ken,
cool.
get some music. Ken, get some music ready for me. I'll let E go, but like I want a soundtrack when I do.
Oh,
mine. You know what
no.
I'm saying? Give me
Ken,
some-
go. Look, I don't want to mess up. See, guy, ain't no. See, I got soundtracks. I ain't got that deep. I was young. I was only 19 years old, and I bent my knees at Fridays, right? So that's mine. Real romantic.
Yeah, we did hear about that. Yeah,
Real romantic.
The
Real
onion
romantic.
ring. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
onion ring. I don't even know if I had the money for onion rings. See, I was a burger and fries. We didn't eat burgers, so it was a veggie burger and fries. So I was a vegetarian during that time. So that's it, bro. That's all.
Yeah, no, Ken hit me. Come on, Ken.
Oh, that's where we going, Ken?
Oh, like that?
Yeah, no, Ken. This is for the anniversary, Ken.
Yeah.
You tripping? This was not the proposal soundtrack.
Yeah,
This is the grown man gift soundtrack.
No doubt.
Yeah, you went too deep, Ken. You went a little too deep, Ken.
Pull it back.
Save this for the Phenomenal Cruise 2018 soundtrack. Give me something. Yeah, no. Give me something that I can set the mood to when I was a nice, young, Christian abiding young man.
And the babies can listen to it.
Right.
And the babies. This is still a family-friendly podcast, Ken.
No, man, I keep it short and sweet. Oh, there we go. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. We got Candace was in Atlanta, and so I, of course, talked to E. You know what I'm saying? Got the the okay from Big Bro. Called her mom, got the okay, and I went down there. I just remember being super nervous. Like I was nervous, and I flew down there, and they had the Sundial restaurant at the top of the West, and so, got a nice little player seat. Did I mention it was the 4th of July? So, we were sitting by the window, top floor. I think it's the tallest building in Atlanta, and waited till the fireworks started, blasting off, and then boom, jumped on the knee and made it happen, man. So it was definitely an amazing time, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot more to it, but I don't want to put these guys to shame. So, you know what I'm saying?
We appreciate you, C. We appreciate
you know what I'm saying?
you.
So, but yeah, no, thanks for asking that. That's it for Ask ET. And listen, guys, phenomenalcruise.com.
Yeah,
We're
talk
going
about
to
it,
Cruise
C.
2018. Not just for married couples, but for anybody looking to go to that next level, man. We are basically just having fun, having events on the boat. We're going in, man, and we would love for you to come spend some time with us. Again, we are on the Regal Princess, one of the best cruise ships there are. Everybody's going to be there. Me, Carl E., Josh, our families, man, just friends. I've gotten so many people that say they're coming. They're super excited about it. So go to phenomenalcruise.com. I think you got until when, Carl? I think they got a couple months. You can do it in 3 payments.
Yeah.
So you can start with 3 payments. So start now, and then you got a couple months to make your last payment. But 2018, March of 2018, is going down.
Can we talk about where we're going to when you finish? Carl, do you know where we're going?
Oh, yes,
yeah,
sir.
we did it before, but I don't know if Carl got it ready. St.
I'm
Thomas.
right here, Fort Lauderdale,
Okay.
The Princess Cays, Bahamas, St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands, St. Martin.
Okay, see, we're all over. Y'all need to come, check us out, man. We're gonna be, man, getting up, working out together. The E's gonna be, giving some spiritual messages in the morning. We're gonna do some workshops for entrepreneurs. A couple live taping. I think a live taping of the podcast that you guys can come to. We're gonna literally do hopefully a 2-hour podcast where we just, not only do what we do on the podcast, but take your questions live during the podcast. So that should be a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to it, man. Go to phenomenalcruise.com. That's phenomenalcruise.com. Also, Miami and Houston are coming up. Miami is the marriage event. Houston, stay ready. Go to etinspires.com/events to check us out at all those. Any other announcements, Carl or E, before I give it over for the nugget of the day?
Nope, that's it. Game
We got
Changers
everything?
know what's up. Game Changers, they
Yeah,
coming
shout
up
out to our
us.
Game Changers. What man, July 1st and 2nd, we're meeting up with our Game Changers.
What about Houston? What about
You
Houston?
said it. Houston is the 9th, July 9th? Yep,
Mm,
July 9th.
Yeah, sure.
Stay ready,
Yep.
Houston.
Exactly. And super pumped for that, man. Let me tell you something. I know y'all coming out to see E, but the rest of the guys on the ticket,
Oh, man.
oh my goodness.
let's say
I'm
that,
talking
yeah.
about, standing ovation good. They just, shout out to Jeremy, Inky, Willie, Dave. They have been just murdering it. The level, I said this at the conference. I was like, I would put this starting lineup against just about any starting lineup in the world right now. I mean, they are coming with it just ridiculous. And you can see it because a lot of them don't know, the Inkies, and some know the Inkies, but the Jeremys, the Davids, the Willies, they're not sure exactly who they are. But then you see them after the conference and they're just getting mobbed by people just like, wow, you changed my life. So you definitely come join us there. Yep.
Hey, I'll say this, see. I was saying from Atlanta to Philly, the guys were great in Atlanta. Listen to what I'm saying. They were great in Atlanta. But from Atlanta to Philly in a month, the growth
man.
that I saw them put in, let me tell you something. Houston, watch out. Watch out.
No.
Yeah,
they
Houston
getting
got a
comfortable.
Grand Lux. Yeah, Houston got a Grand Lux, so I know it's about to be off the charts.
No doubt. No doubt. In Houston, we might let Toby get down a little bit too. And shout out, man, I got to do this. Shout out to Linda, a young lady named Linda who I met in Philadelphia. I always like to shout out our podcast listeners. Linda, who's in grad school. I can't remember what school, but she said
Shout out that media team
that
that
she
did
works
a little-
out and gets her workout on the Kale song, Get It. Every time she works out, she said that's her anthem. So, Kale, you got at least one fan out there, brother. So keep pushing, man. But shout out to Linda, man. I just like to shout out our loyal listeners. She was like, I can't wait. Every time it comes on, you guys just make my day. So shout out to Linda and everybody else, man, for listening and supporting the podcast. You already know what to do. Go leave us that review, please, on iTunes.
I got to give a shout out to Jaleel and his crew that came out and shot.
Oh, yeah.
this
Shout out to
event for us,
Jaleel, man. Yeah, if y'all
let
seen
me
the
tell you
video on
something.
Instagram, ooh,
Yep, Magic
that
Moment
thing-
Media, y'all. Y'all can check them out. Magic Moment Media, but they put just a little promo together. They came, shot the event, put a promo together for us. Within 24 hours, we put it out the very next day on Instagram. Y'all can check it out. It's still there, but yeah, they did phenomenal work, man. Good to see some young guys just teaming together and getting some stuff done. So just wanted to shout them out.
Yep, and real quick, let me say this last thing, just a programming note. E and I talked about, and E's wanted to do this for you guys for some time, and we're just gonna drop it on this same podcast channel. But what we're gonna do, and I haven't figured out the day of the week yet. I'm thinking maybe a Tuesday, because since we got Thank God It's Monday, the podcast comes out. You guys are listening to this Thursday evening, or at least that's when it comes out, regardless of when you listen to it. But we want to start doing a kind of a midweek motivation type deal, if you will, where E's gonna come on and give you just a couple minutes, 3-4 minutes of just some meditation stuff, some positive thought stuff, some positive energy type stuff. And we're gonna put that on this channel. So you'll start seeing a podcast episode, or I don't know how it displays, Carl, but you'll start seeing another audio that's available from us throughout the week that'll just be E on the solo by himself, kind of giving you some positive energy, some positive thoughts, kind of an extended nugget of the day, throughout the week, probably Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that, man. We would love for you guys to listen to that and just kind of, keep you going throughout your week. That's what we started this for, guys, so you guys can enjoy it, take some nuggets, have some fun, hopefully it entertains you on your commute home or wherever you're at. And, this is just something extra that we wanted to do to give you guys that boost throughout. So it's kind of like I said, a longer form version of ET's Nugget of the Day. So just be on the lookout for that. When you see that, don't say, oh, they only put out a 3-minute podcast. No, it's just another supplemental thing that we want to do just to make sure you guys are on your way as tough as possible. So go get it, man, and go write us that review. ET, get us out of here on that Nugget of the Day.
Yeah, so guys, in the spirit of the topic that CJ introduced to us today, start now. Start where you are. Start with fear. Start with pain. Start with doubt. But do yourself a favor, start. Start with handshaking. Start with voice trembling. But start. Start with no bank account, no support. Listen to me. Start. Start and don't stop. Start where you are with what you have, because what you have is plenty. So it's your boy ET saying, do yourself a favor, just get started.
All right, y'all, that's it. We are out of here. Go leave us that review.
See you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul.